So guys, this is our first time doing a vlog type thing. I'm really bad at asking questions, but we'll figure it out. Trey, where are we headed?
So we're going to Fry's, our little grocery store right now. And I guess the idea is that we're gonna go get stuff to make energy bars with, or the caffeine bars that I make. So yeah.
Okay, so how did these come about?
The energy bars?
Yeah.
Oh, they were a project for school in college, and I was trying to make something that I could eat as a pole vaulter that would sort of give me energy for the meet. So it's kind of like a pre-meet energy bar, and it doesn't have a whole lot of fast-acting carbs. It's more of kind of like a distance runner's energy bar, because it's pretty fat-heavy and protein-heavy, but it does have a lot of caffeine in it. And the reason why I wanted it to be a fat caffeine bar was that it would give you a sustained caffeine buzz versus drinking your Red Bull in warm-ups or whatever and then feeling a crash midway through the competition. So these bars don't give you the carbohydrate boost that you're sort of looking for, but they do give you a sustained caffeine buzz. Pro tip: always park far away from the grocery store so you get extra steps in. I'm looking up the recipe. Can't remember the recipe. The nutrition facts for the energy bar we're about to make. I made this. So you can see it's a lot of fat, right? And this is in one bar, so it's a lot of fat. A lot of fiber too, but the reason why we have the fat and the fiber is to get that like sustained energy buzz through the whole competition. So it's good to eat this like an hour or an hour and a half before the competition. Here's my senior research project. Here's the recipe. So this is what we're going off of. Alright, we've got chia seeds, we've got flax seeds, we've got coconut flakes, we've got raisins, we've got pumpkin seeds. Dang, we got like most of this stuff. Alright. Okay, so besides the raisins in our recipe, most of our carbohydrates are going to be coming from the dates that we're going to have. Dates are like a great snack just in general. You can kind of see they're really, really high in fiber, and they're pretty high in carbohydrates. So it's basically like, it's like a sugar bomb, but it's a good sugar bomb because there's a lot of fiber in it. So the dates that we want to get are going to be obviously the cheapest, but pitted. We do not want pits in our dates because it is a pain in the butt to get those out. We're going to go with these as long as they're pitted. I don't think they are. No, they're not. So we're not going with those. Dang. They're really gonna make us do it like that. So we gotta get the more expensive ones only because they're pitted. But that's alright. It'll be worth it in the end. Alright, so walnuts, the next part of the recipe. Nuts just are expensive in general, so always buy these in as big of a bulk as you can. Don't get them in like little bags. Try to get them in as big a bag as possible. So here we go. So down here, so we have whole walnuts here. This is the same brand, right? Whole walnuts, 89.9%, 89.9 cents per ounce. These down here are 66.6 cents per ounce. And we're chopping these up anyways, so it doesn't matter whether they're halves and pieces or just pieces. So we'll go with just the pieces. Save the dollar.
So Fry's doesn't sell cacao.
Nibs.
Nibs. So I said we could just put in chocolate chips, but why is that not okay?
Well, because the whole reason we're doing the cacao nibs is because they have more caffeine, and we're trying to make caffeine bars, and they have higher fiber. Chocolate chips don't have any fiber. Idiot.
But chocolate chips are so good.
Alright. So here's the coconut oil we're gonna want. I typically just get the Kroger brand. So here we got coconut flakes. Usually I would go with just unsweetened coconut flakes, but we are making something that we're going to be taking pre-competition, so it's okay to have a little bit of added sugar. So I'll go with sweetened coconut flakes. So zoom in on this here. So here are some dark chocolate chunks that Courtney was talking about. It's 62% cacao. We want to find 100% cacao, which doesn't taste the greatest, but you're blending it in with a lot of stuff that does taste good. So here's 72%. We're getting closer. These are still just dark chocolate though. We're not necessarily trying to just do dark chocolate. Here's 100% cacao. This is in bar form. It's going to be a little hard to blend up. You'll see how we blend it. I want to do the chunks or these.
I mean, I like the chunks because it's not fully cacao.
Alright, so we'll do these, but we'll pulse them up in the food processor to make them into like nibs, because nibs are just like chocolate chips but smaller.
Win for Courtney.
Yeah, so we'll go with these. But if you can find cacao nibs, find cacao nibs. Okay, so you can do ground flaxseed or just regular flax seeds. I kind of like to do the ground flax seeds because it makes the bars like a little more smoother, versus this is a little more like crunchier, fall aparty. But it's kind of whatever you want. We already have ground flax seed at the house. The other thing we got to get over here is chia seeds. With the chia seeds, I would definitely go with whole chia seeds. So this is ground chia seed. Definitely go with whole chia seeds because when they get combined with some of the liquid from the dates that you're going to grind up, it's going to make sort of more of a gel than these flax seeds would. So go with whole black chia seeds.
Not even out of the store yet. Already snacking.
I got practice. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They're good.
There's so much cacao, not enough chocolate.
That's what chocolate is.
It's too bitter.
This is literally pure chocolate.
Not the good kind. I need more milk. Look at those calves. Oh. Okay, Trey.
Because of the fruit ubiquity.
Pause that YouTube video.
When you think about fruity
Let's get this
cereal,
done.
You don't think about Apple Jacks. You think about the fruit de
Let's see who wins.
Not apple. Apple's not a fruit. It's a vegetable. It's one fruit.
Okay, it's bar time.
Getting all our stuff. Mise en place. Got the recipe here on my phone. Zoom in. Got walnuts, chia seeds, flax seeds, hemp seeds, cacao nibs, coconut flakes, pumpkin seeds, raisins, dates, and coconut oil. Okay, so first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take your dates and soak them in hot water. So that way they're a little softer, and when you throw them in your food processor, they don't just like shake the whole thing and don't blend up that well. So we'll put 1 cup of dates in this sort of thing in water. So we're actually going to double this whole recipe just so that we have more bars to make. So we're going to do 2 cups of dates, aka the whole thing. So then we start from the top. 1 cup of walnuts, but we're going to double it, so that's going to be 2 cups of walnuts. 1/3 cup of chia seeds, so that's going to be 2/3 cup. 1/3 cup flax seeds, so that's 2/3 cup. 1/4 cup cacao nibs. So this is where it gets weird with our chocolate chips because cacao nibs, they're smaller, so they're gonna fit together a lot tighter. So you could actually fit more cacao nibs in 1/4 of a cup than you could fit chocolate chips, if that makes sense. So just depending on how chocolate chippy you want it, we're gonna do like a 1/2 cup and some change. So just a 1/2 cup with a little bit more. We'll see how well this blends out. I don't have high hopes for that. Okay, 1/4 cup of coconut flakes, so we'll go 1/2 cup. These are sweetened coconut flakes. You can go regular if you want, but I'm making bars that taste good. Dang it, I just put a whole cup in there. All right, a lot of coconut. The next is 3/4 cups pumpkin seeds. And that seems like a lot, but we need a lot of pumpkin seeds in this recipe because of the fat content in them. So we'll go with 1.5 cups of pumpkin seeds, which is quite a lot. We're running low on pumpkin seeds. That's okay. The cool thing about this recipe is as long as you have enough dates and coconut oil, you're gonna be fine. All the rest of it's just kind of like to add stuff to it. Raisins. 1/2 cup of raisins. The raisins are important because these hold the whole thing together along with the dates and coconut oil. So you want to get 1/2 cup. In this recipe, we'll double it and make it a full cup. Make sure you handle your raisins as much as possible. Okay, the last dry ingredient is the hemp seeds, which we said we're gonna swap out for the sunflower seeds. It's supposed to be 1/3 cup of hemp seeds, which would be 2/3 cups of sunflower seeds, but I think I'm just gonna go with 1/3 cup because I don't know how these sunflower seeds are gonna taste. They're unsalted sunflower seeds. Yeah, and I don't really like sunflower seeds, so let's go with 1/3 cup. So now what you're gonna do is you're gonna blend all of this dry ingredients for about 30 seconds, maybe like 45 seconds on your food processor. It's very important to use a food processor and not a blender. You can use a blender, it's just a real pain in the butt. And we're just gonna use pulse to chop. Okay, so to get the best consistency for these bars, it's super important that you do these dry ingredients first, because if you do the wet ingredients with the dry ingredients, you're not gonna get this like little crumble thing that we got going on. It's important to get the crumble, because otherwise you're gonna have like just whole nuts and I don't know, it's just not very good. Okay, so next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna drain our warm date water. Dump those guys in here, nice. And the last thing we have to do is melt 1 to 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. The whole reason we put coconut oil in this is to hold it together. You don't need coconut oil. We're already pretty high in fat, so if we could, it'd be great if we could just make a bar out of this stuff right here. But the coconut oil sort of helps it come together. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take, let's call it 3 tablespoons of coconut oil, and we're gonna melt it together. You wanna make sure that the coconut oil is fully melted. Like, come take a look. If it is like this, where it has those bits that are still a little unmelted, you wanna just keep on letting it go. The oil's pretty hot, so it'll kind of melt itself. But just keep on turning it on and off and on and off until you get it fully melted all the way through. When you have it sit here at room temperature like this, it's solid. But if you were somewhere where it was slightly warm, it would turn into a liquid. So, okay, there we go. Make sure you don't just dump it in one spot, that you try to spread it around, because we're trying to get everything coated. All right. So this one you're gonna let go for like a whole minute. You wanna let it go for a while. So you wanna mix this until it stops shaking violently, okay? That means that you've pretty much chopped up all the dates that you wanna chop up. All right. So let's see what we got. It's crumbly like before, but now it's able to stick together a little bit better. And when I squeeze it kind of like this, see how it'll form together in a ball? Well, we're gonna make it into bars. But that's what's gonna make sense when we pack them down. They're gonna wanna come together. Okay, next thing you wanna do, take a pan just like this. You don't have to grease it or anything. They're gonna come out just fine. We're gonna load that onto the pan. It's pretty crumbly right now, but when you pack it all together, it'll all come together. I like to take a spatula and use that to sort of form it. We're gonna try to go for something that's about that thick. So we might not have enough, like this might be too much room. You can already kind of see like it's not gonna totally fill out the pan, but we'll keep on squishing it down, see how much room it'll actually take up. We're still pretty thick, so I'm gonna spread it out some more. Okay, then what you wanna do is sort of just clean up the edges, push it in, and then re-push down. Keep on doing that until you got some pretty looking bars. Okay, and the last step, and this is optional, is you can pour honey across it, across the top, and I like doing that just to make it taste good, or taste better. So we got our big thing of honey here. It's gonna look like a lot, but we're gonna spread it out, so there we go. All right, and then with your spatula, you can just carefully, because otherwise you're gonna like pick up some of the bar and it's gonna kind of go everywhere, but just carefully sort of spread the honey out. Try to get it over everything. Doesn't matter if it's not, because it's still a lot of honey. But yeah, that's about it. Now you have this to lick off. So we're gonna pop this in the freezer and then we'll be done. And really you can eat them right now, but they'll be a little bit like folly aparty. So just let it freeze for 30-40 minutes and then they're ready to go. So when I cook everything, she cleans it. All right, it's been about 30 minutes. The way you can tell if it's good is if that honey is a little stickier than before. Yeah, they could go longer, but we'll try them out. Get some with some honey.
Oh yeah.
I've learned the hard way. You want to do this in glass, because if you do this in like a non-stick pan or something, and you go like that with your knife, you've ruined your non-stick pan. So